25 years ago, the city of University Place had the visioning process that established a roadmap for how the city would develop in the future. The things you see today, like the sidewalks, the parks, town center, and new businesses, are a result of that plan. But now it's time to look ahead to the next 25 years, and we want your help in imagining the city's future. Hi, I'm Mariza Craig, Assistant City Manager for the City of University Place. 2020 is a monumental year. The City of University Place will celebrate its 25th year of incorporation. We recently began a visioning campaign to set the city's course for its next 25 years. Let's learn more about the kickoff for this visioning process during the Duck Days Festival.
The Vision 2045 campaign is an opportunity for citizens to provide input on changes or ideas that citizens have for the future.
A lot of the groundwork laid by the founders 25 years ago, but things change. We see technology change, people change, and we want to make sure that what's relevant 25 years ago is still relevant today and going forward 25 years.
25 years ago we had a newspaper and we had a lot of citizen workshops. Now we have an opportunity to use the social media, to use FlashVote, to use our newsletter, to have citizens email us with their ideas and concerns, and actually come into meetings and have face-to-face conversations. Our current planning vision is working more with our commercial corridor, and that is the commercial property at the northeast corner of our community, the Narrows Plaza area, the 27th Street corridor, which is business-oriented, and Bridgeport, which is our major arterial.
Beyond that, we still want to assess what the community feels like about the residential areas. And so far what we've heard is that they're very protective of those. They want to make sure that the character is retained, and you don't see a real increase in growth in terms of forcing in houses, increasing density in that area. And that's actually the reason why we're focusing on the core of the city to allow density there.
This 2045 vision plan is a plan that isn't developed overnight. It's a plan that takes, in this case, a year or better to develop. Once you get to the council level, it's oftentimes very difficult to make anything other than major changes to a document. But if there's ideas out there that we don't think of, it's time to do it now when we have the public process. I highly encourage people to get involved at the ground level.
Well, we're excited to be talking about this visioning process, and joining me today are Council Members Steve Worthington and Denise McCluskey, who are both members of the city's visioning subcommittee, and the chair of that is Council Member Worthington. So thank you both for being here today.
Well, thank you.
Pleasure.
So we are going to talk about the visioning process, and Council Member Worthington, can you describe what that means?
Yes. So it's a process, or it's a way for our community to come together and start making some, I would say, decisions about what they want in their future. And they're the ones that know best. But we, on the council and in the local government, are looking for ways to help facilitate that. We're coming up on a 25th anniversary, and we're asking our community to look to the next 25 years to see what they would like to be doing, where they would like to go, what would they like the community to look like, and several other things. So the visioning process is a way to bring all of that out, capture it, and then use that in our planning processes. So.
Now, I know that when the city, when UP became a city in 1995, Councilmember McCluskey, didn't we have an early vision?
Yes, we did. It was the iMAGINE what our city is going to evolve and to become. Back then, we just wanted to form as a city to get out of the umbrella of the Pierce County, to become our own, to be a more localized government that will address the local needs of our citizens. And in that aspect, we came together with charrettes, and we had different roundtable discussions. And from that evolution, in 1995, was created a city vision, mission, and strategic goals and plans of what we would look like in 20 years at that time. And so it became the working document for what our parks look like today, designing summer conservation and open space, energizing also our economic development skills and tools, and it all centered around the vision of work, life, play, and also educate, because we wanted to pull in the school district and become family-oriented and drive it towards our children as they evolve into our community, because we were hoping that our city would be so wonderful that they would continue to stay in our community as they raise their own family of their own.
Well, that sounds like a very comprehensive process that we used in 1995. So how is this new visioning process then going to be any different than how we did it 25 years ago?
There'll be a lot of similarities, because at that time we wanted to bring the community together, because as council members, we really don't know what 31,000+ people really want in their community, and it could be 31,000 different directions and different ways. So we're trying to come in finding the sweet spots in all the areas. Do they like what we have become? Do they like what is happening in present day? Do they like the regional growth centers and all the amenities that have surrounded that concept? Do they like the protection of the residential homes, the apartment dwellers? What do they want? What are their needs? Because over 50% of City of University Place residents, they live in apartments or they're renters. And so we want to design our city around their needs as well.
This visioning process is called iMAGINE 2045. Councilmember Worthington, now, what are the plans for the iMAGINE 2045 campaign?
Well, as we have gotten things off and running, we've been working on this for just about a year now. First coming up with ways that we could help people understand what's going on, and then coming up with the tools to help facilitate folks explaining how they would like their future to be. So we've used a couple of things, but one of the tools that we've really been getting focused on is our FlashVote process. FlashVote's a great opportunity for our residents or people that are interested in University Place to participate in this process. And it's very simple. It involves getting a question, actually 3 to 5 questions, delivered on your smartphone or on your computer or even on your phone, just your landline. Once a month, those questions will come in. Takes about a minute, only about a minute, to answer questions. Now, for our residents and for other folks interested in University Place, we're finding a lot of folks want to write a narrative and tell us some details about what they'd like to see change. That's been very helpful for us. We've already had over 300 written responses in our process, and we're looking to get probably hundreds more. So FlashVote's been a key tool for us, and we've been looking at it very carefully. We still want people to sign up. There's lots of opportunity. We intend to use FlashVote up until and probably through June of 2020. After that point, we're going to need to take the information and start turning that into our vision document.
Oh, that sounds like a very great tool. Lots of points of how the community can get involved and engaged, and very convenient too.
Yes,
You've talked about mobile, talked about
it's easy.
very easy for people to get connected. But Councilmember McCluskey, besides the FlashVote, if people can't get connected to FlashVote, is there any other tool that perhaps the city is thinking about using or engaging?
FlashVote is great, and I encourage everyone to sign up for it. We are talking in our visioning committee about pulling together a professional community survey that will draw the community together, much like we had done in the beginning of the city in 1995, so that our citizens can come, engage, have face-to-face discussions from all ages, from the youth all the way up to our seniors, so we can develop a more comprehensive plan. And in that design, we would like to touch base with each of our citizens more than once to engage and to get their community input when we start pulling all the data together for community visioning and mission, because after all, it's been 25 years since we've done it before, and so this is very strategic, and also will align to how well we're doing up to date, and also how to design our future with our current code redevelopment of our form-based code. Our parks comprehensive plans are being redesigned. There's a lot of things happening here that are being in the redesign, refocus stage. So we need a lot of valid and honest feedback from our citizens in order to be able to design it appropriately and right for to meet their needs in the future. we don't want garbage in, garbage out. So we want it to be exactly what they're passionate in, what drives them, what is the heart and soul of the community, and we're hoping that they will enjoy the process and also imagine. I mean, just the word imagine is exciting and creative, to get as creative as realistically possible for the future of our city.
Wow, sounds like no excuses. I mean,
Right.
our citizens can get every opportunity, whether it's the flash vote that comes in very conveniently, or if they miss that or want to add more, there's that potential community survey.
Right.
That's
There are, and there's some more informal processes too. More about when we have community events where we're getting our commission members out as commission ambassadors to engage people and get information there. We did that with the 2019 Duck Days, and we used a space there right across from Anthem Coffee. We used that space that's now actually referred to as the iMAGINE Gallery because of that. And so we'll continue to use that space that's available for us in this process during events and other opportunities, have some outreach. And then I think we've also got a table that's occasionally manned in the lobby of the Civic Building. Again, a chance for folks to provide some informal feedback as well. So,
Thank you for
lots of ways.
reminding me about that, Councilmember Worthington. I know the city manager often is sitting there trying to sell flash votes and get everybody signed up. So it's a perfect place for citizens to just come in as you're going to the library to get signed in. And like you said, it just takes but a few minutes. I know that in 2020, of course, we're also preparing for our big community celebration for celebrating the city's 25th year of incorporation. That's a big milestone and a big year for the city. So how will this visioning process tie in with that celebration in terms of a timeline, in terms of how it just kind of connects the dots?
Sure. Well, if I may, we've been working on this, as mentioned, for a while, and the celebration's been a key elements of this, of our history here. Celebrating everything that's occurred in the last 25 years, but it's also an opportunity for us to recognize there's a future. And so on August 22nd, we have our birthday party in 2020, 25th birthday. We're also, during a portion of that, we'll be unveiling the draft vision for our community, for University Place. And that draft vision will be near perfect, not quite. I say that because there's still opportunity for the public to change that a little bit, and maybe a lot if necessary. But it's a chance for them to react to that draft. We'll capture those changes, use that to change the vision a little, and then finally, for our tree lighting event in December of 2020, we'll unveil the final vision, and folks can see what that is and react to that, and then we'll move it into our planning processes following that.
Well, we really have a whole lot of activities, a whole lot of exciting things going on. So it's going to be exciting, just building up to that. So let's take a quick break. And when we return, find out how the visioning document will be used in our future city planning. Now, let's explore the ways in which the community can get involved in the Imagine 2045 campaign. Councilmember Worthington, so once you've heard from the community through flash votes and potentially the community survey we've just talked about, what will you do with all that information?
Well, Mariza, first off, I want to thank everybody who's already been involved with FlashVote. It's really been quite amazing. You know, we have, as I think I've mentioned, several hundred folks that have signed up, over 400 now, and we expect more to sign up as well. One of the reasons that people get engaged with it is because it's got almost an instant response. The questions come to you first. You have 3 days to respond. and then the questions go away. So you should get to it quickly. But once you respond, at the end of those 3 days, you get to see all the answers. You get to see exactly how people as a whole and by certain subsets responded to your question. Just like your question, how you responded, is it with the majority or a little different? Also, there's a chance to read the narratives. So these are statements that people are making about good job or not so good job and some other things too. So we find it very interesting. Right now, in terms of using that information, council members are going through that now on the Imagine 2045 committee. We're looking at the information, trying to decide if we how best to move forward with that. Is that an aspirational statement? Is it something that somebody wants to get some more information? Is it a critical issue that we need to take action on today? And so those are all things we're sorting through. And we're also sharing the information with all of our commission members. So there's another 20-some people that serve as commission members that help our communities grow and respond to its needs. And so we want to make sure that they have that information, and they do. So when you respond to FlashVote, you're responding to both the council, the commission members, and the public at large that are engaged in it. It's pretty fascinating. So that's a bit of how we use the information. And then finally, as we start building that vision statement in the early summer of 2020, we'll be pulling out those themes, identifying how to integrate those themes in a vision statement, and helping us verbally depict what it is the community is looking for. And we get to that final unveiling at the end of the year. Mm-hmm.
Well, that seems like what people want these days. Quick, easy feedback, quick loop around so you know exactly what the comments are.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really great tool, and people can find out right away.
Yeah. Feedback loop is key, and I think it's fascinating for folks to participate in. People can keep signing up for this until June or so. Mm-hmm.
So, but at the end of the process of the Imagine 2045 campaign, I imagine there's going to be some kind of a report or some kind of a document. Councilmember McCluskey, would you, what kind of a report is a community going to see, and how are they going to access that information?
The report will be thematically done, but I'd like to kind of circle back a little bit, because it's not only the flash vote and our community survey. The form-based code is going to have a community-driven charrette style to ensure that that's the appropriate direction for our city, what that will look like, how our buildings will be designed out, what's the functionality, you know, sidewalks, trails, concept. Transit will be extremely important, from buses to bikes to pedestrian traffic, and also to pedestrians that may have some limited capabilities in how to transport them in and out, not only through our city but through our region as well. And as we design out with our regional growth center, Narrows Plaza, our town center, and also Grandview and 27th Street, how that all will be driven for an economic driver and development. So all those components will be part of that thematic design as we put together a document. It's deep, it's comprehensive, and it's not only one citizen gives one feedback at one time. We will be creating a feedback loop to that citizen to come back and forth with it. So it's essentially important and also exciting that every one of our citizens who has access to our website, our Facebook, we have also Twitter accounts, whatever social media aspects that they're comfortable using, because we understand that we want to reach their comfort zone. So we've come to the 25 years, so we're at this tipping point, and it's really exciting to engage a look back, a present day review, and also a design into the future. I'm looking at this at almost like a white canvas to explore into our future, and as we establish lifestyle centers, not only throughout our regional growth center, but into our neighborhoods as well, so we can have that community connectivity. And so when people who live in University Place, they feel valued, and they also have a sense of place.
Yeah. Councilmember Worthington, so Councilmember McCluskey talked about the actual visioning document, but can you talk about maybe how this actual document will then be used in the future planning of the city?
Sure. So as we get to that vision statement and it gets made into a report, and we have lots of examples of different communities doing similar documents. So there all over the Northwest and beyond as well. But those documents can be very, very helpful in the planning processes that are in front of us. That vision document, if it's an executive summary or a larger body as the case may be, moves on to the Planning Commission and to the Council. The Planning Commission will start incorporating that into updating the city's comprehensive plan. So that comp plan, as we refer to it, is going to have a rewrite, and it'll be a long process, frankly. It'll take several years. There's 7, 8, as many as 9 different elements to a comp plan, and all of that serves the vision statement. And then once the Planning Commission works through that, the City Council starts responding to it. Well, what does this do to our policies? How do we change our land use development policy? How do we change how people use our parks? How do we change some other things about the community? And so the Council uses it in their policy decisions as well. So it's kind of the base rock that expresses both the vision and values for the community that we build a comprehensive plan, we build policies, and make decisions from.
Your whole point of that is it just reinforces how really important the process is and how very important it is that people provide us the input. But Councilmember Worthington, talk about the timeline again, and in terms of the document, but run us through the timeline again so people know.
Sure.
Sign up and.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to. So, people getting engaged in FlashVote, we've certainly talked about, and we're going to be running FlashVote until approximately June of 2020. But we're also going to be using our city newsletter, the e-newsletter, and folks want to sign up with that as well. We'll be getting people lots of information through e-newsletter, through FlashVote, between now and June of 2020. We'll be using our festivals as points of outreach. If that's Duck Days, the tree lighting, specifically the 25th anniversary in August 22nd. And all of those are key pieces for us. And again, on August 22nd, we'll have our draft of the vision to release to the public to respond to. And then we'll take information from that draft and we'll use that to fine-tune the document and bring that back to the public in December of 2020 for the final release, our final document for the vision statement.
I know that as subcommittee members, you've worked really hard at this process and trying to get everybody engaged. Councilmember Worthington, being the chair of the subcommittee, any last words you want to leave our folks listening out there?
Well, certainly, it's hard to overstate what a special opportunity this is. It's really hard to express how important it is for people to be engaged and active in this process, because we're going to be looking at this for the next roughly 25 years. That's a long time, but it does a lot to influence the future, and everybody today can have a role in that. They just have to be engaged in the process, take the moment, and be part of what's going on. And there's lots of opportunities in University Place to do that. I hope folks will jump in.
Yeah, they can start signing up right now. Yeah, they don't have to wait until we have a celebration or any event to sign up or to go to a meeting. They can sign up for our city's newsletter and FlashVote immediately. The more numbers that we have, the more validity we have to the outcomes. So that's something that they can do today.
Well, thank you, council members. That's a real call to action. Well, thanks for listening to the exciting work happening for the Imagine 2045 campaign. I'm Mariza Craig for UPTV.